Many of you have heard of the clothing brand Patagonia, but have you heard about their conservation initiatives? As one of the most environmentally conscious companies on the market, Patagonia has emphasized conservation as an integral part of their business operation.
Their mission statement is as follows: build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis.
Founded in 1972, Patagonia produces brands for skiing and snowboarding, surfing, fly fishing, paddling, and trail running, all of which are known as silent sports because they do not leave a very significant environmental footprint.
Their production methods, however, weren't always so eco-centric. It wasn't until 1991 when the company could no longer keep up with its increasing loans, forcing founder Yves Chenard to lay off 20% of his employees in one day, that he and his partners decided to turn over a new leaf.
The company began reassessing their carbon footprint, apparel manufacturing, and a number of other processes involved in the Fortune 500 company. From that moment on, Patagonia became just as invested in the environment as they were in the quality of their products. The programs they sponsor today help conserve an array of natural resources and promote biodiversity. Along with more than 1,400 other companies, Patagonia pledges 1% of their total sales to 2,457 environmental organizations and has been doing so since 1985. A quote from 1% for the Planet states that it is an alliance of businesses that understand the necessity of protecting the natural environment. They understand that profit and loss are directly linked to its health and are concerned with the social and environmental impacts of industry.
In 1999, Patagonia's owner, Yves Chenard, met famous artist and naturalist James Prosek during a trip to Yellowstone. After hearing of the artist's experience in catching the ever-elusive trout and his knowledge of the species' struggle to survive amidst increasing rates of overfishing, Chenard decided to invest his growing company's efforts in the conservation of the species. Today, overfishing is a global issue. 25% of the world's fish stocks are either overexploited or depleted, according to a report in 2008 by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. To help combat declining populations of various trout, Patagonia has donated over $420,000 to various conservation and restoration groups, whose missions include protecting trout species around the world. One beneficiary of the Wild Trout Initiative, the Wild Steelhead Coalition, has used Patagonia's funding to reinstate destroyed habitats to their productive states in order to foster a return of the steelhead to its original environment.
Patagonia's Common Threads initiative emphasizes a closed-loop product cycle. This means that they offer clothing repairs as well as end-of-product life recycling. By the fall, they will only sell and produce clothing that can be recycled. Next month, Patagonia will begin a program for trading, selling, and donating unwanted clothing to those in need. This initiative helps conserve landfill space and reduce waste pollution. So far, the company has collected 39 tons of used clothing and has recycled about 70% of that.
85% of the paper Patagonia purchases goes into the production of catalogs. Their largest supplier, New Page, shares the same support for sustainable business practices and provides paper containing 30% post-consumer recycled fiber and is certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. An FSC certification ensures that tree-based products have been harvested responsibly and address the need to meet the social, economic, ecological, cultural, and spiritual need of present and future generations. Why not use 100% post-consumer recycled paper? Because it is yet to be produced in the United States, and the environmental costs of importing from Europe drastically narrows the environmental savings of making the switch. They are diligent in recording their use of paper, and the company estimates that the use of recycled paper in their catalogs in 2010 saved an equivalent of more than 7,000 trees, enough energy to power 36 households for a year, remove 98 cars off the road, and displace enough water to fill 4 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
Conservation is obviously an important issue to Patagonia, and that's why they partnered with 3 other industry giants, REI, the North Face, and Kelty, to create the Conservation Alliance. Since the program's inception in 1989, more than 170 member companies have joined and contributed annual dues to a fund that has accumulated $9 million in investments to conservation organizations in North America. Last year, the Alliance allocated $900,000 to groups whose missions include protecting wildlands and biodiversity. This is a list of grants for part of 2010 and 2011. The entire list dates back to 1989. In order to reduce resource consumption and therefore conserve the natural environment, Patagonia works with bluesign standards. These standards evaluate raw materials such as dyes and finishes and audit energy, water, and chemical inputs of products. Patagonia has worked with bluesign to reduce environmental impacts since 2000 and has successfully converted a portion of their merchandise to cleaner, healthier product chains.
Patagonia's environmentally conscious methods of manufacturing and marketing, in addition to their awareness and sincere consideration of natural resource depletion, is a large departure from many attitudes inherent to mainstream business.
Patagonia is beginning its 39th year of operations, and founder Ivan Chenard's remarks in the company's annual Environmental Initiatives publication mimic how we felt at the conclusion of our research. Chenard admitted, "We still don't have all the answers. We've just been asking the questions longer than anyone else."
In the process of resolving the issues of conservation, Patagonia has become an iconic figure in sustainable business practices and should serve as an inspirational example to all companies.